Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, 4 nerds by nerds, hanging out with these nerds.
Nathan Nerdarch.
Nerdarch is Ted.
I know, you caught Ted without his lid.
Wow.
Gotta fix that.
So, welcome to another weekly wrap of Nerdarchy. It's been a busy week for us.
We're not rapping anymore. It's Quest and Adventures.
Well, you know, Quest and Adventures, Q&A, whatever you want to call it. It's the end of the week for us, sort of. So what happens at the end of the week? We begin to start a new week.
So hopefully play some D&D.
We just keep this wagon train rolling.
So the last couple of days have been a little bit busy for me and Nate. We went down to Virginia, went on a little road trip, and we went to Think Geek to do the Think Geek thing.
As per noted on your shirt.
Oh yeah, I am. I'm wearing my swag. So
I
that's
think you have
cool.
my swag still. I don't think I took it home.
It might be in my car, huh?
I hope so. Otherwise, it's in Virginia.
No, say it ain't so. Or even worse, I'm wearing it. I'm like, wow, this shirt feels really big.
Yeah, I must have lost a little bit of weight.
Yeah. So I think we're good though.
So jealous. I'm sad that I didn't get to go road tripping with you guys.
Just weren't cool enough, Ted.
I know.
You were camping and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I ran the live chat, for you guys
for
yesterday.
like 1 million people.
I was like 6.
There was a bunch of them in there.
I was looking at it, I was like, I was seeing it from like a side angle. I was like, why didn't Ted NASCAR up the bottom of his thing? I was like, oh wait, those are all people, because it like fills the entirety of it. I just like, what's he doing down there?
Yeah,
Zaref Game asked us one question: is Ted wearing a Stranger Things shirt? Yes, he is.
I am.
Don't worry, that's not your one question.
Started watching the season 2 and totally digging it.
Yeah, I have not gotten a chance to look at it yet. My wife and son started without me, jerks.
I haven't watched any of it yet, but I heard it's good.
We got in at 11:30 last night, and they stopped the episode they were watching to say hello.
And they went back to it.
And then went back to it, and they're like, why'd you just go to bed? I'm like, well, what am I going to do? You guys are already partway through the episode. I'm not jumping in now. You guys are dead to me.
Why don't you just binge the whole rest?
That's what I'm going to do. So, as denoted, we went down to Virginia to hang out with Think Geek, and I actually ran a Halloween-themed game with them, a Night of the Vampires Ball. You got to play in it. Yes. We kind of did like a post-mortem video on it. We also sat down with Erin from Think Geek. She actually made a bunch of pre-gens that people played in that game, so that was really cool. She unfortunately did not get to play because she runs all the tech media and stuff.
Yeah, she's running 3 cameras, 3 mics, and all of the stuff there. So
she made all the characters and didn't get a chance to play.
That's how she
played.
Harsh. That's how she got the play.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny too, because she's like, yeah, you guys don't get it. Maybe that was like a little vindictive on her part. Like she didn't make a cleric.
Yeah, that was rough.
I'll teach these bastards the D&D without me. Didn't matter to me either. So
yeah, of course it did it. You're like, they can all die or they can win. We'll see. And if you guys want to see if they won or not, you can check the description. Under gameplays, there's a link for that particular game. Sorry, guys.
Dave's dying. Oh no,
and that was really great of them to. They showed it on their Facebook, their Twitch, and they also had a link for their site on their site for it. So
yeah. There's actually an article. Actually, we should have put that up somewhere too. There's a link on the website about the characters in the game as well. So you might even be able to watch it there as well, because one of the things, like you're saying, they had embedded it over there and linked to all over the place, but it's in a bunch of places. But there's a YouTube link in the actual description for you guys to go check it out and watch it if you wish.
I'll have to check it out since I was not there.
Yeah, you'll have to just watch it. You're like, oh, I know those guys.
Philip Volution. Hey guys, I'm a new subscriber. Are you excited about The Last Jedi? What is that? I think we are.
Yes,
all are.
we
Thor
are.
movie.
Is that a movie to watch after I watch Ragnarok?
Yeah.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I'm sorry, but Ragnarok has got my attention before Last Jedi.
Well, yeah, but it's coming out first, so
He's doing it in order.
You got like a month between them,
Yeah.
I think, so you'll be good.
Ted will just not ramp down after Ragnarok. He'll just go and keep going. He'll be like, yeah, Last Jedi.
Ah, yes. Doug points out there's a link to the article in Nerdarchy Twitter and Facebook. Yes, we did put the links all over the place so you guys can go check it out. It was a fun game to run. Not only did we have the Think Geek people in the house, but we also had Seth Pulowski. Hopefully I'm not butchering his name too badly. He did Of Dice and Men, the movie. He's been involved in the documentary for The Art of D&D, Eye of the Beholder, as well as he's a sound engineer and he's an IP attorney. He does a ton of workshops and panels at conventions about IP.
Very cool.
Trying to help people stay out of trouble. And also it's funny too, he's talking about yesterday how when he goes to cons and he sees people with games and stuff that are basically stolen IP, he always buys it. He's like, this is going to be worth money. He's like, this is totally getting pulled. I think he like pointed out like Rampage had that problem. Someone did a Rampage tabletop game, and and they did not get the license. So it was just a matter of time.
Well, that's amusing.
Yeah, that stuff can be tricky.
So we don't want to steal any of the thunder from the multiple videos that we're going to have about your Halloween game. But last weekend you also ran your game with the fans.
Yeah, Dead Moon Rising.
How did that wind up going?
It was good. They died. No. Actually, you'll have to watch and find out. But I think we had fun with the game. We did some cool things, and it starts in a tavern.
Starts in a tavern.
That's how my latest game started.
Yeah, you know what? It's a trope for a reason. It's a good one. And people say you shouldn't start in a tavern. How do you not start in a tavern? How do you do anything but start in a tavern? I'll tell you what you do. You just start in a tavern.
Just like breathing air is a trope. Starting in a tavern for D&D is a trope for a reason.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely.
And if that inn happens to burn down and the players are somehow involved, that's also a thing.
So I have episode 2 or episode 2.5 of the RPG Crate game that'll come up this Friday.
Oh, great.
You guys are going to finish it off.
Going to finish that off. There's too much going on in the last amount of material.
It was too action packed.
I just couldn't do it. We ran for 3 hours and I think we got through just over half.
So is it going to be another full session?
I don't know. I can certainly make it last.
You should have just killed them at like 10 minutes of.
Be like, yeah, these two adventurers, all these monsters.
Bless you.
Thank you. I might be dying, guys. I might.
Just do whatever you're going to do over that way. Not in my direction, please.
Just die over there. Andrew Sakalovic. I'm probably butchering the hell out of that.
Could just say Andrew.
I could, but I like to say the things I can't pronounce. It's more fun that way. Do you guys have a favorite Halloween D&D story? I don't know that there is officially any Halloween D&D stories. There's like some horror trope stuff, but like you know what, dude? I'm just gonna say Night of the Black Rose before either of these guys can say it.
I have not played in many Halloween or horror-esque games. I know, was it a year or two ago?
He said story. He did not say game.
Oh, story. Now you're going to put it out?
No.
Yeah.
Now it just feels weird.
Doug asked.
Where's the table display?
It's right there. It's always been there.
Can't prove otherwise unless you go back in the video.
After it's done.
No.
You can't go back and live.
I think you can.
I think you can too.
Okay.
But don't. Just believe.
True, mate, you're correct. I actually meant to mention this. Just noticed the Dream Syndicate has a episode out. It was supposed to be launching today at 2, same time we're doing this. We actually didn't have any more room in our description to put anything else. Like literally it says you cannot put anything else in here. We would have to delete stuff. So we didn't actually have room to put a link to Ryan's video. So for the Nerdarchy, formerly known as Ryan, or Ryan formerly known as the Nerdarchy Ryan. Everyone to say it.
Your brother,
that guy, he's doing a thing and his first video is up and he is asking people to please come take a look at it because it's a new channel and video velocity is a thing for YouTube and it would help him out a lot. Hey, even if you don't watch it, just play it and it'll help his YouTube channel. But no, I would actually encourage you to watch it at some point between today and tomorrow. I'm going to check it out.
Very cool. But I don't know if we wanted to actually continue the question about the Halloween games, but you ran the one game for here at the table with myself and some of the other Nerdarchy fans who happened to go to the
Geek Fest.
Geek Fest. There you go. Thank you. And
I killed his ass.
But it was a very, very fun adventure.
You guys kind of won
despite dying. Oh, the party as a whole won. It just half of us died.
This stuff going on. You're laughing at that too, right?
Yeah. I would say, Ted, that's always good when you can still have like that win for the story, but you're like, I didn't make it, but I helped. As long as you didn't get murdered in like the opening scene.
No, there was a spoiler alert in case you haven't seen the thing from more than a year ago. After we defeated the big bad, it blows up. And it did enough damage to two of us that
it killed them outright.
It killed us outright.
Like those demons that explode.
It was just like that.
Eerily similar.
Good stuff.
Zarek Gaming question: any of you dressing up for Halloween? If so, what as? I know Ted probably will. He usually does.
I always dress up whenever possible. My family tries to do a theme. As of right now, my kids are out with my wife. Doing a trunk or treat. My daughter is Baby Groot. My son is Rocket. Initially, I was supposed to be going as Star-Lord, and my wife was going to be going as Gamora. But finances had to take a sharp left turn, and now we're piecemealing costumes.
Now they're a hobo family.
No. We picked up a couple of Ravager patches, and we're going to piecemeal some stuff, and we're going to be Ravagers.
That's actually better. That's actually a better costume. I think I like that better. Where do we get the body parts from?
It's Halloween.
Not Reavers.
Oh,
Ravagers.
I thought Reavers as well.
I'm gonna write the Reavers. I was like, it's kind of dark for little kids, but whatever.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
It's still in the Guardians theme.
Okay.
We're Ravagers.
Ryan's channel, the name is Dream Syndicate. Something. It's really long. Like there's Imperial in there, maybe crafts and stuff. Off the top of my head, I'm not entirely sure.
Look for it next week. Is there maybe a link?
Yeah. Hey, Doug, if you can grab that and put it in the chat, that'd be great. It might let you because I think you're a moderator.
He's got a little,
but it might not let you. So we'll see if we see if we can't make that happen. At some point, I will share it on the Nerdarchy Facebook page, and I will tweet it out, so you guys will be able to check it out. Probably when this is done, I'll get on that. Then you guys will definitely be able to check it out if you are following us on the other social medias.
Those social thingies.
Zarek Gaming. Someone should dress up as Taserface. I'm just hoping in a future. I don't know if they will, but Taserface is a character from Guardians of the Galaxy, which is
it sounds like someone from the Tick.
No, it's actually from the Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's but they're in the future. They're not, they're not in the current timeline for the MCU. And there's a race called the Stark. So they found the Tony Stark stuff because it was jettisoning off the planet in order to keep it from falling into alien hands. But it fell into other alien hands, and they built their whole society around it and worship it. Except for they are literally the opposite of Tony Stark, where he's like, oh, I don't want my stuff used for war anymore. That's all they use it for. They're a warlock race, and then they started making themselves into Stark cyborgs with said technology.
And that's where in the comics that's what Taserface is from, because Taserface is in the Guardians movies.
Yeah, but it's from in the comic books or something.
Okay,
they just kind of repurposed the name. It's kind of funny because they just made fun of the name. So.
Oh, of course, it's totally worth making fun of. It's like your name is Taserface. It's good stuff.
Doug's got an overrule plan. I'm a little concerned. So, some people sent us some stuff, right? Is that a true thing?
Absolutely. So should we do it in chronological order?
Yeah, sure. However you
All right.
want to do it.
So the awesome people at Hobgoblins 3D sent us some cool stuff a while ago, and they wanted us to show it off. You can get the files over on DriveThruRPG. So if you actually jump down to the description below, there's a link.
Is there a thing to print in green because like Hobgoblin and stuff? Or
I don't know, but I want to contact the guy and ask them to get some of the stickers because their stickers are awesome.
Really nice detail.
Yeah, the coffins are kind of cool. How well you can see this stuff. It's a little bit small.
But this thing, the altar in front of a portal, I think is completely
that's
badass.
a good one.
And this monstrous treasure chest you could put a body in is really nice.
Oh, I didn't even realize it.
I thought it was a sarcophagus, and I was like, oh wait, it opens. Oh wait, it's full of treasure.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Barrels.
And I like how this cart, the wheels actually roll.
Adventure pack,
nice.
crate. The rest of this episode or live chat is just going to be you watching us play with minis now.
But they have a huge selection. So if you go down to the store below, if you've got access to a 3D printer or know someone that does, you can grab those files, and there's some awesome packs down there that you can get a hold of.
Ooh,
going back to the Ryan Dream Syndicate thing. Dream Syndicate's an actual band, I think, so it's going to be hard to find them on YouTube by typing that in, just to let you know.
Just
so
you're
really literally going to have to follow the link trail that hopefully Doug will lay out for you. I think he did, actually. He's got a Patreon link, and I think there's a post about it. That's what I'm assuming the link's from. But thank you, Doug.
So you will never find it ever.
So Hobgoblins 3D, awesome stuff. Whether you're looking for little things to add some tiny scenery to your game, or whether you're looking for a lot of big and awesome stuff, it's out there. It's awesome.
Comic Book University, shameless plug. Taserface explained in a minute on Comic Book University. Yeah, I just remembered he was really into Nikki from the Guardians of the Galaxy, and she burned him. She burned him bad.
Well, I mean, did you
like literally, or like
because she was from one of the planets that was really hot, so she was adapted to that and would give off like crazy heat and stuff.
Oh, all right.
Doug, you're so funny. He's talking about Ryan's channel. It's the Nissan Pathfinder of YouTube channels, I think. Andrew, Reaper minis are amazing. I don't like them, actually.
I don't know where that came from, but sure.
Ted likes them. I don't like them.
You don't like them?
I don't.
What don't you like about them?
You have to paint them and assemble them. I don't like either of those things about them. They look great. They look great, and I love them. If someone can assemble them and paint them for me, I'm good.
The other rough thing is when you drop them, there's a chance that their arm pops off, or
I would think
for things that assemble.
Yeah, well, I think with the plastic ones, that's less likely to happen.
Yeah, Warhammer pewter minis, on the other hand.
Yeah, you got to use good glue to make that happen. But yeah, when you get into the metal stuff, that's where drop breaks are far more dangerous. Because if a thing pops out, just re-glue it, you're good to go. Touch on your paint.
Yeah, Doug agrees with me. Oh, yep, pre-painted or bust for me too. Yeah, I even brought minis for all the encounters for the game this weekend, and they were all pretty much WYSIWYG for the most part, I think.
Yeah, did a good job.
So yeah, that's not something I do too often. I even went through. It's like, Ted, I need some minis. He's like, which ones? I'm like, all of them. I don't know what I'm using.
He's like, can I bring the entire tote? I'm like, sure.
It worked out. We got everything we needed. But then the funny thing was, we just drew a paper map. Right.
Yeah, we didn't have actually grids. So Seth is like drawing the maps on paper. It was totally old school.
Speaking of grids, I mean, can't get a better segue than that.
So what you're saying is I had what I needed. I just didn't have it with me.
Yes.
It was in a tube in Ted's basement.
We recently got a new battle grid, and you can go with the cool, ancient looking, or you can flip it over and go with just the old basic white.
Plain where you can draw on there with some dry erase.
Both sides are
Thick and laminate.
dry erase, and they come with a set of 4 markers: blue, red, green, and black.
So we can just lay this out, start drawing, play with our minis that we got.
And a set of dice. And you can jump down to the description below where there's a link to a battle mat where you can get this. I think it's like $24 on Amazon.
As seen on Nerdarchy.
As seen on Nerdarchy. So not only do we have this to use at our table, but we have one to at some point in time give away to a lucky fan. So
Andrew, WizKids Mini sucks, so little detail. They actually use some of them are really nice. I'm just gonna leave it at that. They do different mini lines for different companies, and some of them are definitely better than others. So so they do have the ability. I just imagine it depends on what you go with.
The WizKid lines for 3.5, I think, are far better and they were far more economical with how much you got for how much you spent back when they were being put out. And I used to buy them by the crate. You'd get the however much would come in a box. It was like 8 to 12 booster boxes, and that's what I would get every time they would release a new expansion. Had a lot more money back in the day. Less kids and monthly expenses. Now, not so much. As opposed to getting 7 or 8 minis per box, you get 4, and I don't think the quality is as good as it used to be.
And they all shrunk.
And everything is definitely smaller.
Yeah. Multifaceted onset ASMR. I just started DMing my first game. Any ideas for adding some spooky stuff to Hallows Eve?
Without knowing what's going on, I mean, there's plenty of monsters that deal with the frightened condition, or you could take something that you want to use and ratchet it up and give it some kind of fear DC. If you're looking to get into the fright angle of it, if you're looking for more suspense, you could have them traveling somewhere where light doesn't penetrate and you use ambush monsters. Things are jumping out. Literally do a fast and dirty, take something that's already there, already has that ambush monster quality to it, and just reskin it to something that's going to fit more to what you're working on.
Just use ghosts.
You could do a costume ball and real monsters actually, crash the party.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to pass off as just in costume.
That would be kind of funny. And it'd be even funnier if they weren't actually there to do anything wrong.
No.
They just wanted to go to a party and drink some punch.
Yeah. And then later they're going to brag about it. They're so foolish they didn't even know it was me.
Yeah, that was their plan all along. When they get discovered, and then they could probably get murdered by the players. And last dying breath was, I just wanted to try the punch.
I heard it was delectable.
Wow.
Just pour it in my mouth as I die.
Sean Murphy suggests mood lighting, candles, Halloween costumes. Yeah, there are so many things you can go, and it can be as low key as just just adding elements into your game that are more horror related to doing a full set dress where you've got your table done up, you got different decorations out, the lighting, music, fog machines, you're dressed up, maybe they're dressed up. So there is definitely a ton, there's a lot of wiggle room on this.
So DMing as death is a good way to set the mood.
I think so.
Yeah, put in a little extra description. You can do that if you're not that great with description. Just read some.
Friggin' I like his flip the breaker on your fuse box so the light's working. You have to play entirely by candlelight.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, there's always tons of stuff you can do. Ooh, Doug, curse ritual turns trick-or-treater costume into a real thing. They become monsters. Got to reverse the curse. That would be a fun one.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much any horror movie or Halloween-esque movie that's come out is a good place for inspiration. You know, it just depends on how little or how much you want to put in. But and you could literally probably download a ton of like adventures that are Halloween adventures.
So what you're saying is the party's captured by Saw,
You could do that, yeah,
by Jigsaw.
yeah. That would be a way to
creepy.
go.
That'd, like, get out of the dungeon without dying.
Which one of you survives?
Yeah, none.
And
The NPC survives.
you could do something kind of, if you don't usually play with it, you could do something temporary where you use the madness rules, and rather than maybe the frightened condition, you can use a monster and it incites madness in people rather than frightening them.
Yeah, that could work.
Oh, that'd be fun. Now I'm mashing that idea with Doug's idea, and it's not actually a ritual curse that's turned them into the monsters. The players just mad, and they see them as being turned into monsters.
That would be a nice twist.
Like they know they were people in their minds, but they returned, they're cursed. But there really isn't a curse. There's the madness on them.
Yeah, that would really work out well. And I've done the madness before, and what I do is I roll for the madness effects after the encounter, kind of like they're all, revved up on adrenaline in the fight, and then after they get calm from that, then it's kind of like dawns on them what actually happened, and like kind of boring into their psyche.
Frigginator at Nerdarchy. It works great until an excitable 10-year-old rolls a crit, bumps the candle over. Don't worry about it. Hey, I didn't even have a 10-year-old over my house. I just had Ted over and my roof caught fire. So
Oh, I was a little overzealous with the wood stove.
It's like, Jesus Christ, 15 years ago, I almost burned your house down once, and I still got to hear about it.
Were you that cold, Ted? This has got to get up to 1,500 degrees. How am I going to smelt this?
What, the wood stove itself?
Yes. I want to test the boundaries of this steel.
Doug, awesome idea. I'm DMing tomorrow. Might have to do just that. I bet it'll be fun.
Make sure you let us know how it goes.
Thankfully, I have no 10-year-olds, but I wouldn't put it past myself. That was multifaceted. So, yeah, you gotta be careful with the fire.
Yeah,
Terror in the midst is always God.
Fire was not nice to me today. Wouldn't light.
You probably should have sacrificed more goats. That's the key. It's sacrificing the appropriate amount of goats. So when is your next game?
My pay-to-play game for Hold the Mordain is actually happening this coming Saturday, not today though.
Okay.
And it's coming along. That'll be the third episode, and the second part 1 and 2 of the second episode will be up this coming weekend.
Score.
Yeah. So just gotta do some editing.
So as you guys may or may not have noticed, I did not get any gameplays up this week. It's been a friggin' busy week for me because, like Ted, me and Ted were talking. So from Sunday to Sunday, I ran my fan game. I played in the Marvel game. I played in the Scarlet Sisterhood game, the Saber Dice game, which I believe on Saber Dice we were like one episode away from our dramatic conclusion. Whether we may die or we may not. And then Thursday was the day off. Thursday did not play any games. I was busy driving down to Think Geek. Friday I ran the game for Think Geek. Tonight will be Ted's game, and then Sunday will be Mike Rosinski's game, and we'll be playing Star Wars. Ravinsky. I'm probably think of a little round green guy.
So that's what, 6 games?
7 games, 8 days.
7 games, 8 days, and you DM like half of those?
I'm like, God, I took a day off and rested.
On the 8th day. Sandwich in between.
Sunday he ran. Tuesday he
on the 5th day.
On the 5th day.
Friday.
Then he went back to work.
Dave took a nap.
Only 3 of those 7 did he run.
Yeah, that's true. That does make it easier. But, and we did have a road trip in there too. So it was busy. Plus, we got most of the normal Nerdarchy stuff done. So I owe Jen from Pixelscapes an apology because I did not post up her Friday video. It totally slipped my mind with everything else that was going on. So I'll have to sacrifice some goats to her in appeasement.
So Kelsey Nickel, let's see. How do you keep your players interested? And then how do you describe maps better? Doug says there's a video about maps. And as far as keeping players interested, you kind of have to get an idea of what your players like to do. So I think that's a big deal. And also keeping pace. So if you think there's like a lull, you got to say, well, do I need to throw an encounter in here? Do I need to put in an NPC to discuss things or talk with them? Or do I need to put, like, do I need something? Are they sitting around because they don't know what to do? Then you're probably going to have to give them another clue on where they're supposed to go, like the direction they're supposed to go, or have the thing come to them. So if it's an encounter that could just as easily happen in a bar as in the street corner next to the blacksmith, have it happen wherever you need it to happen to get the plot along. If you're trying to move a story, but the players just aren't biting on it.
We also did a video that was inspired by a question in our company, the NAG secret Facebook group, that I believe Christina Macabre, something like that, asked, and that was like, you know, she's like, oh, I'm getting ready to DM and I have questions. I'm like, well, what is your biggest thing? And she gave us like 3 things. And it was like preparation, keeping the players interested, and how do I get started? Which is actually a video up on Nerdarchy YouTube
so
channel.
I was gonna say exactly that. You know, we've got a video that we recently did talking about that. You can check that out. And it's really knowing your players. It's really, you know, judging, you know, what their expressions are. And I've known, I've sit at the table or sitting at, you know, behind the DM screen, and it's challenging when you've got some players who are really into the role playing, some people who are really into the combat, and it's like, all right, they're just sitting there, they're tired, you know, it's late, they're really not into all the role playing that's going on. It's like, well, how do you keep this thing rolling and get that guy or, you know, gal happy?
Don't worry, Kurt. Company and Nag secret is going to be safe. We're going to Men in Black flashy you guys soon. Not to be confused with other kinds of flashy. So Kelsey Nicole, my players think it is too railroaded. So when you get that, a lot of times, you know, you're just not, they're not biting on the hooks that you're giving them because you're probably giving them your hooks, is what I'm guessing. I don't know for sure. A lot of times, if you can find things that they're already interested, they've already talked about, they've already tried to do, or stuff from their background, and you just present them that stuff, they will pretty much always bite, and rarely will you hear that they're being railroaded.
I will always default to, you know, my standard question when people, you know, go in this, it's like, okay, what do you want to do? Or what are you doing? If you give them complete free reign, they've got the ability to go out and do as they want, and that be that. They can't say they're being railroaded if they're making the choices to do whatever they want.
I mean, in theory, if you're playing D&D, like, almost any option is open to your players and their characters. So it's really hard to be railroady unless you're literally saying, no, you can't do this, or no, you can't do that.
If you present, this is the only option to go, you have to go this way, that's a railroad. But if you give them, okay, well, do you want to rescue the princess, or do you want to, you know, go into this dungeon and look for a magic sword? Well, now you've given them a choice.
Well, sort of, but they could also be like, I'm not doing either. I'm going to go sit in a tavern and have a drink.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah. Like, there's...
And that falls on your players. Like, well, do they want to be adventurers, or do they want to role play someone in a fantasy medieval setting, you know? So that's going to go to the tavern and have a drink for the rest of the night instead of solving some kind of issue that's going on around them. And you can also, you know, if your players are stalling, you can also look at it as have a couple quests that you have wanted to direct them to just resolve themselves. Either someone else, we've got a video on that as well, where someone else either solves the issue for them and then they get accolades from the mayor or whoever, or everyone fails to solve a problem, and then now they've got to deal with a broader issue or a different type of issue than they had previously. So basically that the world goes on regardless of what the players tend to do. And I think once they see a few opportunities that they would have really liked to have taken part in, you know, fall away from them and be done by somebody else, or fail and have something bad happen in the area, they'll be more interested in the clues you drop on whether or not they're being led towards someplace. So it really, but it does, Dave, as Dave was saying, make sure that you're giving them the choice to choose, whether or not they're going to complete something.
So, Andrew, Matt Colville has a great discussion about railroads versus open world stories. Nerdarchy, you have thoughts on this? Of course we do. Also, the kind of like to add to this, Ed does everything. Do you use illusion of choice a lot? So there's a couple things. Like, I actually don't even like the word railroad as much. And I heard someone else, I think it was like Linguister or somebody, that said, and they replaced the word with linear. Meaning it there's a set progression to the adventure you've written,
like a video game.
Yeah,
you complete each each level.
Yeah, and even in a linear adventure, there's room for choice. There's room for options. I think I stole this idea from Nate, and I don't even know if he knows that. When I used to write adventures, I started doing a thing where, and it was really when I was going from the point where I wrote a lot of stuff for my preparation to not writing as much. And Nate would do these flow charts, and I kind of adopted that when if I write more material, and kind of have different paths that things can go in depending on what happens, what the players choose, all that good stuff. So most of my writing is linear, even if it's a sandbox, even if I don't really make up the material. Generally, there's a quest, an objective, or goal that the players are trying to do. The idea of a sandbox to me is almost like there's never really a goal or objective. They just go wherever and do whatever. But because just by having a set of goals, it tends to drive things in a linear direction anyway. Start point, end point. And that is essentially what a railroad does, right? The train follows the tracks to where it goes. Well, a story will do the same thing. Now, a sandbox is you play wherever you want to play. So things could be connected or not connected. So it just depends on the style. My earlier games were a lot more sandboxy, even though I wrote more material for them, just because there was no connectivity between the stories themselves. They were kind of like all individualized.
But at the same time, like the characters tended to go off and travel, whereas here in the games that we're running, everything kind of keeps looping back around, to the city of Gryffindor. So if you go out, you're either this session or in the next several, you're going to make your way back to that town, to that city, and the next thing is going to wind up coming out, or you'll move on to the next thing. In my game, you guys have been looking to get all of the quote unquote recipe or ingredients to destroy the spear. And lo and behold, once you've got access to everything, something else happens. And, we'll see what winds up transpiring tonight.
Also to the idea of the illusion of choice, right? Some RPGers get really mad when you bring up the RPG, bring up the illusion of choice, and they cry bullshit, and they cry like little babies. I'll use other words, but this is a family show, folks. And they get real upset about this because, you changed something or used this somewhere else. But in theory, nothing exists until I put it in the world, because I am the GM. Until the players actually encounter the thing or hear about it or witness it via some method, it literally does not exist to them.
It's like a puzzle piece. Whatever parts of the puzzle you've already put down is the stuff that's static in the world. And every piece that you're going to add, there's a group of goblins over here, or here's a tomb or whatever, you can add those to it, but you're not changing those puzzle pieces. They're still there as options.
I don't understand how people can whine or complain about the illusion of choice,
because it's the internet.
Honestly, when you have a DM who is taking their time to provide you with entertainment and a story and potentially an ongoing thing, if you're going to complain about the way he does it, then keep your mouth shut and enjoy it, or go somewhere else.
All I know is if I write 3 pages of descriptions and combats and encounters for a dungeon, and they decide to look at the door and go, "Nah, we don't want to go to that dungeon," they're fighting that dungeon sometime. It's happening. It might not be there. It might be someplace else. But I'm not gonna just be like, oh well, I guess they've never gone to that, so let me just put that on my shelf, never to be used.
This is Pokemon for what? Schrodinger's D&D adventure. It is very much like that. And the other thing too is, I've used the example of, I was going to have bandits on the road attack my players. They never leave the city. They never go on the road. So I have them jumped by thugs in an alley instead.
Thugs or cut purses or what have you.
Just even though I've repurposed my encounter, even though I used the same encounter, it completely changes the encounter. The environment's different. The way that this can turn into future interactions with the world for your players has completely changed, because bandits on the highway are going to operate completely different than the thugs in the city. They might be part of organized crime. The bandits might be part of a camp, or maybe even a rival kingdom. They may actually be working in official capacity, for all you know. But just by the nature of changing the setting and small details, you've changed how that's going to impact your players and the world going forward.
We crossed our halfway point.
All right, yeah, we did. So are you saying you want to do a roll call?
I didn't say that.
Well, my phone's about dead, so I'm not going to be reading the roll call. Just like
that. Roll call, folks. If we don't say it, they won't start it.
Yeah. Have anything else to show off?
I don't. Not today.
Oh my God, Sean Murphy, did the bandits drive a Trans Am?
I had an issue with the reading off the roll call yesterday.
We saw it was painful and funny all at the same time.
Yeah, I'm certain that there are people who were laughing or commiserating with me.
Yes. So tonight we will have almost a full table. Is that what I hear?
Minus a Kurt?
No Kurt, no David, no Adam.
Oh, never mind.
So,
screw it. Let's not even play. I'm gonna go sleep and hibernate.
Looking at you two, Mark and Ryan.
Perfect.
Whoa, really? Okay, we can totally do.
Are we still under siege?
Yes. Yeah. Yes,
Son
we
of a
are.
bitch. What was I doing during the siege?
I don't know, but I'm considering using Earth Elementals to just tunnel my way out of here and never to return.
Oh man,
my grows protect it. Nothing's trying to kill it. So
what were the rest of us doing?
It's not game time, man. I can't reveal that information.
You can't give your business partner an edge on his character. Just have to wait until Ryan.
I imagine, since you were a soldier and
soldiering,
you were with the dwarves fighting shield to shield,
soldiering on.
That sounds like something he would do. So Frigginator is at home. I think home is Washington for him. Yeah. Kelsey Nicole is in Sugarland, Texas. We got Tampa, Florida in the house with our friend Jose Suarez. Elfbait is in Edmonds, Washington. We've got Jacksonville, Florida representing with John. Underwood Sketches is in Hillsboro, not Hillbilly, Missouri. We got Zarev Gaming in Rodizio, New Mexico. Manitoba's here with Andrew. We've got Elliott City, Maryland with Reno. Pokemon for what is in Metro Morelands. I'm a little skeptical on that one. We've got Lynn, Massachusetts with Comrade 2261. Granite City, Illinois with John. We've got West Newbury with Multifaceted Onset ASMR. We've got Dallas, Texas in the house with Ed Does Everything. We got Ralph is in Sturgis, South Dakota. We got Nick with London in England. Sweet. New York is in the house with Sean Murphy. And Underwood Sketches is pretty close to Hillbilly. No one's perfect. We've got Geek and Undies, Circleville, Ohio. We've got Brad in Wisconsin. And Doug is actually in Cleveland, but he didn't weigh in. He may have gone back to work. We keep them chained to the Nerdarchy website.
Well, Comic Book University is somewhere usually in the Marvel or DC universe.
Right, also known as Canada. Formerly of Asbury Park, New Jersey. So there is that as well. So are you excited for tomorrow's Star Wars game?
I am. I'm just hoping to have some sleep before that.
Sleep is for the weak.
You can take a nap today.
I'm weak. Are you kidding me? In what time? I mean, the time where we're recording videos after this?
It may be like an 8-hour nap.
The time. The time of getting things ready and food ordered for tonight's game. For the time when we're actually playing tonight's game.
Yes.
Not during playtime. I mean, you can sleep while you eat or not eat and sleep.
We'll just feed that. Give that a feeding tube.
Yeah, the sloosh.
So you've got answers. We've got solutions.
Yeah. Well, and you've got a blender, right?
We have a blender.
Blender, the food and the whatever together.
We have to clear it out. It's currently got cat food in it.
Oh, well.
We're not worried about it. We're not going to eat it.
Food is part of that word set.
Yes,
so,
sadly that, unexpected finance thing I spoke about earlier, my cat is on a feeding tube at the moment.
Yeah, poor kitty.
Yeah, poor kitty. Ed does everything. Summon some Hot Pockets for tonight's game. We will probably do our usual of pizza. That is what we're known for. Zarek Gaming says Comic Book University is working on the Weapon X project in a secret location.
I don't think
that sounds about right.
I just watched Apocalypse. Took a while. I finally got to it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I actually thought of like the later X movies. Everything about the movie was good except for Apocalypse.
Yeah. How cheesy he looked. Yeah.
He looked like crap. He didn't act like Apocalypse should. And it's like, wait a second, instead of going and just destroying the feeble enemies that are there so that you can complete your transformation, you allow your ineffective subordinates to mangle the job while you're trying to do this.
Well, to be fair, it was a hyped up Psylocke, Magneto, Storm, and Archangel. I mean, I would assume they've got it. Really?
Yeah, that's not the way Apocalypse thinks.
Well, yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Until I reverse back to the MCU.
Yeah. Well, overall, I'll say this: I was entertained for the time.
Yeah, I thought, like I said, it was probably the better of the latest, X movies. It's just when your big bad sucks.
I'm of the opinion there's certain things that I would just like to see a series. I don't care if they just put it on whatever they got to do to get like 7 or 8 videos out of one concept, like arcs. Like I'd rather see story arc seasons of this rather than just like
it all mashed in.
Yeah, all mashed into one movie. A whole bunch of stuff cut out, concepts and character development cut out, or like shoehorned in at certain like points.
Or like what they were doing with Spider-Man, where they're trying to do like 3 storylines at once instead of just doing one per movie.
Spider-Man 3, where it's like how many villains and plot lines can we shove into this movie?
Yeah, how much can we make it suck? Hold my beer.
Again, I'd like to just see like 5 or 6. I would rather see 5 or 6 episodic shows of something rather than just cram everything into a movie.
So you think tonight Ted will do any like Halloween elements?
I don't know. He's been murdering us with all kinds of stuff lately, so they're pretty horrific.
Yeah, maybe some jack-o'-lanterns. We could get attacked by exploding jack-o'-lanterns or something cool.
We'll put in some Ignis Jacks. They're fake creatures. They could be burning down the place.
What about Mike's game? Do you think he'll throw some horror Star Wars elements or some Halloween elements into the Star Wars great game?
I don't know. He's he's a relatively new DM to me. I haven't had enough sessions to really, see whether he incorporates that kind of stuff.
Has he told you what he's going to dress for Halloween as?
No.
Okay, well then that might be that he's not into it enough to put it into Star Wars. I don't know. Star Wars.
Yeah, but only if he's actually talked to him recently. So we haven't played the game in a bit.
Yeah, it has been a while. So who knows? We'll see what winds up transpiring. So the question is, should I wear my Jedi outfit to the game tomorrow?
Absolutely. The question's always yes.
Are you a Jedi in the game? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
He always plays a lame
You
Jedi.
should wear that like 12 months out of the year if you're playing the Jedi.
12 months. What is he going to do the other two?
Are there 14 months in your year?
Oh, I heard 10. I don't know. Yes, there is.
I'm just questioning reality while this was going on. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
Is one of them Febtober?
It might be. It might be. I'm using our original Oathgania calendar.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm using.
Wow.
You know, you're the
I'm wondering,
or have too much time on your hand when you make a calendar that's different than the normal one for your campaign setting.
Yeah, I wonder if that calendar exists anywhere.
I have a binder with some stuff in it, probably.
We got to go on a hunt.
That I refuse to show the other guys. It's all mine.
We had portfolios done up for all 30 deities. We had a calendar. You know, we had a full map done in a old mapping program. Very detailed.
Yeah,
unlike our new one.
That's not so detailed or existent.
Yeah, we need to sit. We all need to sit down, and we need to knock it out. Like, what is where in comparison to Griffin Gaff, at least. I mean, I know my area, but that's because I don't have to argue with you guys over where stuff is.
So Ed does everything. I have a random question for theater of the mind type play. How do you help or aid players that have difficulty with visualization? Yeah, I'll just yell it at them louder and louder so they understand. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's at that point you may have to revert to like pictures, images, and props.
So if you're dealing with somebody who they're not good at visualizing, it's a question of, are you talking about, are they having problems seeing the course and flow of battle, or are you talking about, you know, seeing what this person looks like for descriptions and the like? You could print up images from the web for what characters look like, for what magical items look like, and then you could just hand these props out to the players and still do a theater of the mind. If you're playing online, you could just wind up doing screen shares. You're still playing without a battle map and without any of these typical props, but you have visualization cues to hand out so that if that person wants to see this, you've got what it looks like.
What I do is I'm not running Fantasy Grounds or anything like that. So I just have a map that I do in Pyromancer or some other map maker online.
Dungeon Bader Studios? Yes.
Yeah, some other
Pyromancer.com?
Yes. So I'll do the map done up in that. I'll show the map. I'll kind of be like, all right, where are you guys on the map? And we'll start with that, and then I'll just give them kind of references like, oh, well, you know, the creatures to your left are like an entire movement away, but you can reach them in one round. You know, the people behind you, they're behind cover up on something, you know, so I'll kind of like describe it while they're all like seeing the visualization of the map. So it gives them a little bit of reference, and then they can kind of just think back to where they were on that later, rather than trying to like make minis on like digital minis or moving things around or anything like that. So I give them a representation, a flat representation, and then take that away, and then we just play the scene out. But I think it helps because it gives them a kind of reference point besides just a description.
Someone also, I don't know if it was LP. I think it might have been LP that said to be patient and revisit details. You know, allow them to ask questions and just answer them. But I had a conversation with Doug, the staff editor for the website, where, you know, he doesn't like it when players don't ask questions. He would rather like give his description and have them go, well, what's this, what's that, and engage the scene more and ask for more questions. So, you know, that's definitely another way to do it as well. Underwood Sketches, any tips for switching DMing from 3E to 5E? Oh yeah, it's gonna be so much easier for you. There's no tips. Like literally, it's like, oh, take away all this other math. I don't have to worry about. The hardest thing is like going from the 3E CR system to 5E CR system. You're gonna have to watch and be careful. That is like the hardest place.
Well, magic items, lowering amount of magic items that you give out, I think is
3.5 had some wonky CRs as well. Every so often there was like,
Yeah,
oh, this is
so does 5e, and it's called all of them.
But 5e is worse.
Yeah, 80% of the things you're like, oh wait, why?
Yeah, so it's definitely more art than science. Odd-X at Underwood Sketches. Read up on 2e, 5e's now. Amalgamation of 2e and 3e. And there's some 4e stuff in there. It takes everything. It just steals from everywhere.
I'd say it's the best of all previous.
I agree.
Yeah, it grabbed the stuff that worked from the previous iterations of it and brought it forward rather well.
I agree. So we are in our last and final 5 minutes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Last minute questions, guys. What do you have?
Yeah.
Did we cover everything we have to cover?
I don't know. You're in charge of that.
You showed off the map thing.
I showed off both the things that I've got. We've talked about, that we've got my game tonight. We've got the Star Wars game tomorrow night. I've got the RPG Crate game on Friday. Be the same group of players. It'll literally just pick up right where the last session left off. You've got a game coming up.
Yeah, I'm playing my game next Saturday. The second session for my game, part 1 and 2, will drop next Saturday and Sunday.
Tuesday, I guess it's good to remind you guys, we are not gaming Tuesday for the Scarlet Sisterhood. We were taking off for the holiday, I guess you can say. Both Sam and Jen pardon me, have little kids. So we'll be back the following week.
So no horror adventure for those guys unless we push it a week.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just continue it. But like, well, this is for not being here.
I don't know what this is about, but Sean Murphy's like, Dave brings a literal mountain of dice. Yeah, I find it really important to bring a lot of dice to the game, and then I like when I should be paying attention to the DM, I'm like sorting my dice. It's very important they're sorted properly so I can use them.
Yeah, you tend to bring your bag of devouring, and it's got 20 dice sets in it.
Yeah, I actually think I overfilled it with dice because I had Ted's wife was nice enough to do a repair on it because it was bursting at the seams.
It is a bit overstuffed, that's for sure.
I think I can get some more dice in there.
Yeah, maybe little tiny ones.
Until it needs another
Repair.
Repair, yeah. Sean Murphy, okay, gotcha. All right, I think we're going to wrap it up. I'm hungry and have more videos to shoot before we game tonight. So, guys, I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us. And, as always, Kickstarters are in the description. Speaking of which, actually, Bagons is now on Kickstarter, which you can check out. They were nice enough to sponsor one of our videos, and it was the don't use a dragon, instead use this monster. So, the link is down in the description below. It's a super cool dice bag that looks like a dragon. And, if she hits enough stretch goals, she'll be adding more colors. So that'll be kind of cool.
Awesome. The links to just about everything that we do is below, whether you want to support us by shopping on Amazon, whether you want to check out any of our previous videos or articles. It's all down there.
And also don't forget to check out former Nerdarchy Ryan's new YouTube adventure, Dream Syndicate, and Arts, Crafts, and Inferial, I think it's called.
Something like that. Yeah. It's a mouthful for sure.
So there should be links in the chat about that as well.
Yeah. So until next time, guys, stay nerdy. Finish it off.
I'm gonna finish that off. There's too much going on in the last amount of material.
It was too action packed.
I just couldn't do it. We ran for 3 hours, and I think we got through just over half.
So is it going to be another full session?
I don't know. I can certainly make it last.
You should have just killed them at like 10 minutes of.
Be like, yeah, these two adventures, all these monsters.
Bless you.
Thank you. I might be dying, guys.
Just do whatever you're going to do over that way. Not in my direction, please.
Just die over there. Andrew Sakalovic. I'm probably butchering the hell out of that.
Could just say Andrew.
I could, but I like to say the things I can't pronounce. It's more fun that way. Do you guys have a favorite Halloween D&D story? I don't know that there is officially any Halloween D&D stories. There's like some horror trope stuff, but like you know what, dude? I'm just gonna say Night of the Black Rose before either of these guys can say it.
I have not played in many Halloween or horror-esque games. I know, was it a year or two ago?
He said story. He did not say game.
Oh, story. Now you're gonna put it out?
Yeah.
Now it just feels weird.
Doug asked.
Where's the table display?
It's right there. It's always been there.
Can't prove otherwise unless you go back in the video.
After it's done.
No.
You can't go back and live.
I think you can.
I think you can too.
Okay.
But don't. Just believe.
True, mate. You're correct. I actually meant to mention this. Just noticed the Dream Syndicate has a episode out. It was supposed to be option. Under gameplays, there's a link for that particular game. Sorry, guys.
Dave's dying. Oh no.
And that was really great of them to they showed it on their Facebook, their Twitch, and they also had a link for their site on their site for it. So
yeah. There's actually an article. Actually, we should have put that up somewhere too. There's a link on the website about the characters in the game as well. So you might even be able to watch it there as well, because one of the things, like you're saying, they had embedded it over there and linked to all over the place, but it's in a bunch of places. But there's a YouTube link in the actual description for you guys to go check it out and watch it if you wish.
I'll have to check it out since I was not there.
Yeah, you'll have to just watch it. You're like, oh, I know those guys.
Phil Volution. Hey guys, I'm a new subscriber. Are you excited about The Last Jedi? What is that? I think we are.
Yes,
all are.
we
Thor
are.
movie.
Is that a movie to watch after I watch Ragnarok?
Yeah.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I'm sorry, but Ragnarok has got my attention before Last Jedi.
Well, yeah, but it's coming out first, so
He's doing it in order.
you got like a month between them, I think, so you'll be good.
Ted will just not ramp down after Ragnarok. He'll just go and keep going. He'll be like, yeah, Last Jedi.
Ah, yes. Doug points out there's a link to the article in Nerdarchy Twitter and Facebook. Yes, we did put the links all over the place so you guys can go check it out. It was a fun game to run. Not only did we have the Think Geek people in the house, but we also had Seth Pulowski. Hopefully I'm not butchering his name too badly. He did Of Dice and Men, the movie. He's been involved in the documentary for Zareth Game asked us one question. Is Ted wearing a Stranger Things shirt? Yes, he is.
I am.
Don't worry, that's not your one question.
Started watching the season 2 and totally digging it.
Yeah, I have not gotten a chance to look at it yet. My wife and son started without me, jerks.
I haven't watched any of it yet, but I heard it's good.
We got home, we got in at 11:30 last night, and they stopped the episode they were watching to say hello.
And I went back to it.
And then went back to it, and they're like, why'd you just go to bed? I'm like, well, what am I going to do? You guys are already partway through the episode. I'm not jumping in now. You guys are dead to me.
Why don't you just binge the whole rest?
That's what I'm going to do. So, as denoted, we went down to Virginia to hang out with Think Geek, and I actually ran a Halloween-themed game with them, a Night of the Vampires Ball. You got to play in it. Yes. We kind of did like a post-mortem video on it. We also sat down with Erin from Think Geek. She actually made a bunch of pre-gens that people played in that game, so that was really cool. She unfortunately did not get to play because she runs all the tech media and stuff.
Yeah, she's running 3 cameras, 3 mics, and all of the stuff there. So
she made all the characters and didn't get a chance to play.
That's how she played. That's how she got to play.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny too, because she's like, yeah, you guys don't get it. Maybe that was like a little vindictive on her part. Like she didn't make a cleric.
Yeah, that was rough.
I'll teach these bastards the D&D without me. Didn't matter to me either. So
yeah, of course it did it. You're like, they can all die or they can win. We'll see.
We'll see. And if you guys want to see if they won or not, you can check the description. Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, 4 Nerds by Nerds, hanging out with these nerds.
Nathan Nerdark.
Nerdark is Ted.
I know, you caught Ted without his lid.
Wow. Gotta fix that.
So, welcome to another weekly wrap of Nerdarchy. It's been a busy week for us.
We're not rapping anymore. It's Quest and Adventures.
Well, Quest and Adventures, Q&A, whatever you want to call it. It's the end of the week for us, sort of. So what happens at the end of the week? We begin to start a new week.
So hopefully play some D&D.
We just keep this wagon train a rolling.
So the last couple of days have been a little bit busy for me and Nate. We went down to Virginia, went on a little road trip, and we went to Think Geek to do the Think Geek thing.
As per noted on your shirt.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing my swag. So
I
that's
think you have
cool.
my swag still. I don't think I took it home.
It might be in my car, huh?
I hope so. Otherwise, it's in Virginia.
No, say it ain't so. Or even worse, I'm wearing it. I'm like, wow, this shirt feels really big.
Yeah, I must have lost a little bit of weight.
Yeah. So I think we're good though.
So jealous. I'm sad that I didn't get to go road tripping with you guys.
Just weren't cool enough, Ted.
I know.
You were camping and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I ran the live chat, for you guys
for
yesterday.
like 1 million people.
I was like 6.
There was a bunch of them in there.
I was looking and I was like, I was seeing it from like a side angle. I was like, why didn't Ted NASCAR up the bottom of his thing? I was like, oh wait, those are all people, because it like fills the entirety of it. I just like, what's he doing down there?
Dean, what is it? The Art of D&D, Eye of the Beholder, as well as he's a sound engineer and he's an IP attorney. He does a ton of workshops and panels at conventions about IP.
Very cool.
Trying to help people stay out of trouble. And also it's funny too, he's talking about yesterday how when he goes to cons and he sees people with games and stuff that are basically stolen IP, he always buys it. He's like, this is going to be worth money. He's like, this is totally getting pulled. I think he pointed out Rampage had that problem. Someone did a Rampage tabletop game. And and they did not get the license. So it was just a matter of time.
Well, that's amusing.
Yeah, that stuff can be tricky.
So don't want to steal any of the thunder from the multiple videos that we're going to have about your Halloween game. But last weekend you also ran your game with the fans.
Yeah, Dead Moon Rising.
How did that wind up going?
It was good. They died. No. Actually, you'll have to watch and find out. But I think we had fun with the game. We did some cool things, and it starts in a tavern.
Starts in a tavern.
That's how my latest game started.
Yeah, you know what? It's a trope for a reason. It's a good one. And people say you shouldn't start in a tavern. How do you not start in a tavern? How do you do anything but start in a tavern? I'll tell you what you do. You just start in a tavern.
Just like breathing air is a trope. Starting in a tavern for D&D is a trope for a reason.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely.
And if that inn happens to burn down and the players are somehow involved, that's also a thing.
So I have episode 2 or episode 2.5 of the RPG Crate game that'll come up this Friday.
Oh, great.
You guys are going